Bring back the barge, says MP for Tobago East. Agri Society demands immediate relief amid seabridge crisis. And vehicle defect grace period starts this coming Monday. Good evening, I am Kristen Salandi and you're locked into the Tobago Updates television news for Wednesday 25th of February 2026. Now to our top story. Ongoing concerns over cargo operations between Trinidad and Tobago have renewed calls to bring the barge back into service. With questions surrounding the reliability of the Blue Wave Harmony vessel, stakeholders are urging the temporary return of the barge to ease shipping delays, support heavier cargo transport, and ensure essential goods reach Tobago. Here are the details.
Member of Parliament for Tobago East, David Thomas, revealed that stakeholders in the Eastern District have raised concerns about the competence and reliability of the Blue Wave Harmony cargo vessel. Reports prompted him to intervene directly at the highest level of management in Tobago and with port management in Trinidad, stressing that urgent need for accountability, improved standards, and more dependable cargo operations to protect commerce.
It is expected that if a challenge comes up that is likely to affect the people that you are responsible for representing, that those questions and those situations will be brought to your attention. And situations have been brought to my attention, and it has caused me to make an intervention at the level of the port management in Tobago and the port management in Trinidad. I have also had little conversations with my parliamentary colleagues.
Many Tobagonians continue to face persistent challenges, particularly with transportation, shipping delays, and access to essential goods and services, leading to frustration and disappointment. The Minister of Works and Transport, Minister Jerlyn John, has maintained that there is no backlog affecting Tobago. However, when a question was asked to David Thomas on how it feels as a Tobagonian to hear such claim, concerns were raised that the statement does not reflect the lived reality of residents.
There is every reason to consider that what she's saying might be the information, might be based on the information that she has. If there is an empty port where no cargo is built up, then that is what we would see. So it therefore means that there may be other underlying factors that might be affecting the space that we are not aware of or that was not brought on camera. So there might be the need to investigate a little more.
Thomas agreed that the barge should be returned to active rotation to assist with transporting heavier cargo items, especially while the Blue Wave Harmony works towards establishing a regular and reliable sailing schedule. He noted that reintroducing the barge would provide immediate, practical relief to businesses, easing current logistic pressures and reducing delays.
Most certainly, anything that can be done to avert a crisis, I am all for it, right? What I'm not ever going to be is a person who appears in public, talks all the time, offer no solution, offer no suggestion, and expect the magic to take place. I'm not that kind of individual. Once a problem is brought to my attention, or a crisis or a challenge, I immediately activate my senses and my expertise.
The proposed return of the barge offers a timely and practical stopgap measure to ease the ongoing cargo challenges facing Tobago. While not a permanent fix, it can help restore confidence, reduce backlogs, and ensure the steady movement of essential goods. Ultimately, sustained improvements in scheduling, reliability, and accountability will be key to delivering a long-term solution that meets the needs of Tobagonians. This is Aaliyah Balgobin reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
As the island grapples with ongoing supply chain disruptions, the Tobago Agricultural Society is calling for more than just data. President Dion Taylor says while the Chief Secretary's recent upgrades or updates are transparent, farmers are currently facing a threat to their very survival. Jewel Green George has more.
The shelves may not be empty, but the margins for Tobago's farmers are thinner than ever. Following Chief Secretary Farley Augustine's update on the Inter-Island Sea Bridge and the Blue Wave Harmony's technical issues, the Tobago Agricultural Society is hitting back with a reality check. President Dion Taylor says the shortage of critical inputs since January 12th has stalled production across the island.
We must emphasize that the current situation demands more than data collection. It demands immediate and decisive action to prevent a full-blown food security crisis with the immediate implementation of already existing agricultural initiatives, both with its internal and external stakeholders.
The Society is specifically concerned with the lack of proper storage facilities. This limitation prevents farmers from scaling up operations, making them more vulnerable when the cargo ferry fails. While the THA plans to quantify economic losses, Taylor argues that for those dealing with perishables, time is a luxury they simply do not have.
Many of our members operate on thin margins, and the losses incurred since January 12th threaten the viability of the operations for the entire growing season.
Looking toward the future, the Society is pushing for total autonomy in the supply chain. This includes direct import-export capabilities to bypass Trinidad as a transshipment point, a move intended to reduce costs and ensure the freshness of agricultural inputs.
We call on the THA to ensure that by the time the Blue Wave Harmony is fully operational on March 1st, a clear support package is ready for the farmers and businessmen who have kept Tobago fed during this disruption.
As the March 1st deadline for the vessel's full operationalization approaches, the agricultural community remains a strategic ally, waiting for words to finally translate into relief. Reporting for Tobago Updates Television News, I'm Jewel Green George.
Motorists across Trinidad and Tobago are reminded of the grace period under the fixed penalty warning system, which allows drivers a fair opportunity to correct minor vehicle defects before fines are imposed. Transport and Aviation Minister Eliza Coe emphasizes that the system balances accountability with flexibility, easing immediate financial penalties. Here are the details.
Motorists are reminded of a temporary reprieve starting Monday, as a grace period will be placed before fines are imposed for minor vehicle defects. According to Transport and Aviation Minister Eliza Coe, the measure forms part of the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Amendment Bill, which was approved in the House of Representatives on January 16, 2026, and later passed in the Senate on January 20, 2026. After receiving presidential assent on January 29, the legislation will officially take effect this Monday, ushering in the fixed penalty warning system.
Responsible shall issue a fixed penalty warning. In circumstances where the driver is present, the warning may be handed directly to the driver. Where the driver is not present, the warning may be affixed to a visible part of the vehicle, ensuring that the motorist is properly notified of the infraction. Once a fixed penalty warning is issued or affixed, the responsibility for the violation rests with the driver or, where necessary, the registered owner.
Zakura further explained that each warning will clearly outline the offense, specify the corrective action required, state the deadline for compliance, and indicate the designated location where the driver or owner must report to verify that the issue has been resolved. Depending on the nature of the violation, motorists will be given either 3 or 7 days to carry out the necessary repairs.
The warning clearly identifies the nature of the violation, the steps required to remedy it, the time frame within compliance must occur, and the location at which the driver owner must report and provide evidence that the defect has been complied with. The driver owner is then afforded a reasonable opportunity with either a 3 or 7 business days window based on the violation to correct the issue by repaying a defect.
Once the outlined conditions are satisfied, a certificate of compliance will be granted. However, if the defect is not remedied within the allotted time frame, the initial warning will automatically escalate it into a fixed penalty notice, rendering the driver or vehicle owner responsible for settling the stipulated fine. This is Aaliyah Bagobin reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
Up next, THA Economic Probe met with private sector skepticism.
TL Promotion presents Laugh and Live this Good Friday, 7 p.m. It's non-stop laughter at Bertrude Legacy Park, Lowlands. Special guest from Jamaica, Mr. Funny himself, Owen Blacker Ellis. From Trinidad, Rising Comics, Alan the Entertainer, and Son Son. And from Tobago, Amateur Comic, Bishop Terence Bays. Listen, this is a laughing matter. Get your tickets now at Den's Electronics, 2nd floor, Port Mall, Scarborough. An Island e-tickets or call 685-1988. At the door, you will pay more. It's gonna be a family affair. Laughter is good for the soul, whether you're young or you're old. So get your tickets now. You can't afford to miss it. Add some laughter to your Easter.
Coming up, fets, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
Thanks for staying with us. Tobago's business community is raising a red flag over the Tobago House of Assembly's plan to quantify financial losses caused by recent sea bridge disruptions. As the Blue Wave Harmony continues its troubled trial phase, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine has commissioned a formal study to assess the economic fallout. But as our Jewel Green George reports, seasoned business leaders are questioning if this is a genuine step towards compensation or just another empty promise.
The Inter-Island Sea Bridge is under intense scrutiny again. The Blue Wave Harmony, a vessel costing taxpayers $25,000 daily, has been plagued by technical issues since arriving on January 22nd. From a hull-damaging berthing accident in Scarborough to recent hydraulic ramp failures, the cargo flow has been anything but harmonious. In response, the THA has tasked Chief Economist Dr. Selvon Hazel to lead a study on the economic impact. But former Tobago Division of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce and Industry Chairman Diane Haddad is far from convinced.
I would like to say that based on the comments of the Chief Sec in terms of some sort of commitment to the private sector, I am not sure what model they will use in terms of quantifying the losses that people would have had.
Data collection is a primary concern. With cargo movement dropping from 5 sailings weekly to just 3, businesses report a $15,000 daily dip in sales. Haddad questions how the government intends to verify these figures.
I am not sure what data they will get. I am not sure what they will use to validate it.
While Minister Julian John recently dismissed claims of a goods shortage, hardware owners and restaurateurs tell a different story. They cite increased operational costs and spoiled perishables. For Haddad, this study feels like history repeating itself without results.
All promises that were made both by the past administration and this administration have brought naught to the table. So it is easy for politicians to speak and make promises on a podium and then everything goes deaf and dumb for the private sector or the public.
The Blue Wave Harmony is expected to begin full commercial service in 4 days. Until then, Tobago's private sector remains in a wait-and-see mode, hoping for more than just a report. Jewel Green George, Tobago Updates Television News.
The People's National Movement PNM MP Camille Robinson Regis yesterday questioned whether Chief Secretary Farley Augustine would gain any new insights on Tobago's autonomy during his visit to St. Kitts and Nevis with Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Here are the details.
The 50th CARICOM Heads of Government meeting opened in St. Kitts tonight under the theme Beyond Words, Action Today for a Thriving, Sustainable CARICOM. But it was Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister who gave the summit its sharpest edge. She began on a lighter note, welcoming Suriname's newly elected President, Jennifer Girlings-Simmons. The 71-year-old physician became Suriname's first female head of state when Parliament elected her in July 2025.
There was a time when it was just two of us. First it was me, and then it was Mia. And then it was Mia, and it was me again. And now it's me again.
But the mood shifted fast. The Prime Minister turned to what she described as a long unanswered question. The October 2022 alleged state kidnapping of a Trinidadian citizen from another CARICOM territory. Trinidad's Supreme Court ruled the man was unlawfully seized. She says she wrote to CARICOM's General Secretary at the time. She says she is still waiting an answer.
I wrote to the Secretariat of the CARICOM asking what happened. How could you have facilitated kidnapping of a TNT citizen? Please let us know what was happening and how it happened. To date, that was 2022, I have not had a response from the Secretariat.
She then defended her government's security cooperation with the United States and the results. Trinidad and Tobago recorded 625 murders in 2024, its deadliest year on record, with over 43% of those killings gun-related and 81% carried out with firearms. The Prime Minister said a policy shift changed everything.
The military action by the American military in the Caribbean caused, you know what happened in our country? Caused our murder rate to decrease by 42%. You know what that meant? There were 257 less murders in TNT.
She thanked President Trump and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who was himself present at the summit as a special guest, then turned to Cuba and Haiti, rejecting what she called the contradiction of elected leaders endorsing dictatorship abroad.
Every single leader in this room was elected by a free and fair democratic election. Everyone in our countries.
She closed with an offer, a reopened UWI South campus in Trinidad, open to CARICOM students from September, and the Couva Children's Hospital, available to citizens across the region. The Prime Minister's message, stripped down, Trinidad and Tobago is staying in CARICOM, but it will put its people first. Jewel Green George, Tobago Updates Television News.
In a moment, but why wait? You can follow every story, every update all the time. Join the conversation and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Tobago Updates. Don't miss a beat. We will be right back.
Tobago, it's Carnival. Dubai, the event space formerly known as Shade, quote-unquote Tobago, said, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612. Or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
Hey. it's you. Come in. Long time I see you. This station complete. Ready for children party. Tommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yeah, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kira and Kayla? I thought it's your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
The Caribbean is more than just a place. It's a spirit, resilient, vibrant, and full of possibility. Rooted in connection, driven by community. It's who we are and the heart of everything we do. For over 150 years, we've been right here, invested in the Caribbean, its people, and its progress. And today, we're going even further. Liberty Business, rooted in the Caribbean, committed to you.
TL Promotion presents Laugh and Live this Good Friday, 7 p.m. It's non-stop laughter at Virtue Legacy Park, Lowlands. Special guest from Jamaica, Mr. Funny himself, Owen Blacker Ellis. From Trinidad, Rising Comics, Alan the Entertainer, and Son. And from Tobago, amateur comic, Bishop Terence Baines. Listen, this is a laughing matter. Get your tickets now at Den's Electronics, 2nd floor, Port Mall, Scarborough. An Island e-tickets or call 685-1988. At the door, you will pay more. It's gonna be a family affair. Laughter is good for the soul, whether you're young or you're old. So get your tickets now. You can't afford to miss it. Add some laughter to your Easter.
Welcome back. The People's National Movement, PNM MP Camille Robinson-Regis yesterday questioned whether Chief Secretary Fali Augustine would gain any new insights on Tobago's autonomy during his visit to St. Kitts and Nevis with Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Here are the details.
Following Chief Secretary Fali Augustine's announcement in a media briefing on Sunday, where he accepted Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar's invitation to the CARICOM 50th Head of Government meeting, saying talks with officials there could provide guidance for Tobago, given that St. Kitts and Nevis has a governance structure similar to Tobago's. However, Camille Robinson-Regis pointed out that the St. Kitts model was already studied during the PNM's term in office. She said, "I have no objection to the THA Chief Secretary's visit to St. Kitts. My concern lies with the justification that St. Kitts and Nevis has a similar constitutional structure to TNT, and there could be valuable lessons for Tobago's governance. I'm concerned about the revision of history." She added that Augustine had previously rejected the St. Kitts and Nevis model while serving on the Joint Select Committee on the Tobago Autonomy Bill, which had consulted with Delano Booth, KSC, former Attorney General of St. Kitts and Nevis. The Tobago People's Party has pushed back against the recent statement by Camille Robinson-Regis, which suggested that the former PNM autonomy bills were comparable to St. Kitts and Nevis' constitutional agreement. The party described the comparison as fundamentally flawed, pointing out that Nevis operates under constitutionally protected authority while the PNM proposals would have left Tobago governed from Port of Spain. Under those bills, Parliament could override Tobago laws, control its finances, and alter arrangements without the island's consent, an agreement that the party says amounts to administrative decentralization, not true autonomy. Real autonomy is not about managing programs. It is about who holds final decision-making power. The statement said, "The people of Tobago repeatedly call for constitutionally protected authority and a guaranteed financial framework, but these demands were not reflected in the final legislation." This is Aliyah Balgobin reporting for Tobago Updates Television News.
The TFA League continued with an exciting doubleheader at the Courland Recreational Grounds last evening, drawing a lively crowd eager to witness top local talent in action. The first match saw a Blackrock FC take on Sinclair Coaching School in a tightly contested battle. Blackrock FC edged out their opponents with a 2-1 victory, thanks to a late goal that sealed the win and sent fans into jubilant celebrations. Both teams displayed impressive teamwork and resilience, setting the tone for the evening. The second encounter featured a thrilling showdown between Bethel United and Calder Hall United, ending in a dramatic 3-all draw. The match was filled with attacking flair and end-to-end action, with both sides exchanging goals and refusing to yield. Calder Hall's persistence kept fans on the edge of their seats, while Bethel United's counter-attacks showed sharp tactical awareness. The draw ensured that neither side left empty-handed, highlighting the competitive spirit that defines the TFA League. Last evening's games underscored the growing talent and determination within the local football scene, promising an exhilarating season ahead. Supporters are already anticipating the next round, hoping for more closely contested matches and memorable moments on the pitch. The General Contractors Association of Tobago, GCAT, has expressed concern over ongoing disruption with the Blue Wave Harmony currently undergoing sea trials in a media release. Introduced to strengthen passenger, vehicle and cargo transport following the lease of the MV Cabo Star, the vessel has faced berthing difficulties and ramp system faults, leading to irregular sailings. GCAT warned that these disruptions are causing shortages of essential goods, including groceries and construction materials such as cement, blocks, and steel, impacting businesses and residents alike. The association emphasized that the inter-island ferry service is a vital lifeline, requiring vessels that are safe, reliable, and fully operational before sustained deployment. The release called for transparent dialogue between government stakeholders, supply chain operators, and contractors to ensure solutions addressed on-the-ground realities, safeguarding Tobago's economic stability, cost of living, and ongoing development projects. The Prime Minister's address to the CARICOM Heads of Government Conference in St. Kitts is drawing sharp criticism tonight from the opposition bench's opposition member, Dr. Amory Brown, right here at home. Jewel Green George has this report.
Just 24 hours after Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar took the floor at the 50th regular meeting of CARICOM heads in Bastia, the People's National Movement is calling the speech a diplomatic embarrassment. At a party press conference in Port-au-Spain today, former Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister and Opposition Senator Dr. Amory Brown came out swinging.
Trinidad and Tobago normally punches above its weight class and represents all the citizens of our country with distinction. That did not occur in this case. Our country has always been embraced as a leader, and now we are derided and looked down upon by many as a poor example within this regional family.
Brown criticized the Prime Minister for claiming it was CARICOM's 50th anniversary, noting the milestone was actually celebrated in 2023, and called her failure to acknowledge the present Secretary General unforgivable. Brown further challenged her interpretation of the region's Zone of Peace declaration.
It's as if she's addicted to a misinterpretation of that particular concept. Confusing a zone of peace with domestic crime circumstances. The two are unrelated. Once again, the zone of peace, as every leader who sat there listening to her shaking her head knows, treats with how leaders within our region interact with each other.
Brown slammed the Prime Minister's refusal to support Cuba, calling her dictatorship label hypocritical given Trinidad and Tobago's trade with non-democratic nations like the UAE and Saudi Arabia. He further noted that by failing to oppose the U.S. embargo at the UN, she broke a diplomatic tradition upheld since the era of Eric Williams.
Unilateral coercive measures against a sovereign state are against international law. I repeat that for the benefit of the senior counsel who spoke to the Caribbean yesterday evening from a platform in St. Kitts.
The PNM dismissed the Prime Minister's complaint as hollow, with Penelope Beckles labeling her address the worst in CARICOM history. While Brown highlighted hypocrisy regarding parliamentary accountability, the government and Ministry of Foreign Affairs defended the speech as a display of clarity and leadership.
And if you look at the reaction of her fellow leaders in that audience in St. Kitts, it speaks volumes about how this nation is currently being regarded in the Caribbean community. It speaks volumes, not to mention the lack of applause from her fellow heads of government.
The 50th CARICOM Heads of Government Conference continues in Bastille through Friday, 27th February. Jewel Green George, Tobago Updates Television News.
Police in Tobago are searching for a man who walked out of the Penny Savers supermarket with a full basket of unpaid goods. The incident happened yesterday at the Carnival branch during a busy shopping period. Surveillance footage shows the suspect lingering near the express checkout counters. He appeared to monitor staff and customers before making his move. The man eventually exited through the front doors without paying for the items or the basket. Management has handed over the video footage to the police. Larceny remains a concern for local businesses. Recent police data shows a steady trend in shoplifting reports across the island. Officers are now asking the public to help identify the man in the video. Anyone with information is urged to contact the police or Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS. The weather report when we return.
Coming up, fets, pan, parades, soca. Yes, Carnival is in full swing. Artists from all over added their strokes to Antigua and Barbuda's canvas. A boost for these Barbadian projects through the power to make a difference. Equal servings of culture and good cheer. It's Caribbean Passport TV right here on this station.
Tobago. It's Carnival. The vibe. The event space, formerly known as Shade, quote-unquote Tobago, says, let's celebrate Carnival. Bring your coolers every Friday and Saturday, starting from Friday the 30th of January till Carnival week, and pay $50 at the door with your cooler all night. No ice, no chaser allowed. Top DJ and artists passing through every Friday and Saturday. To pre-book your cabanas, call 369-6414 and 394-3612 or email iwamg@gmail.com. And this promotion is going on until Easter. Gates open at 9 p.m. It's rum, it's bacchanal. Bring your coolers and come.
Been down this road before. All that left is rum and bacchanal. This is Carnival.
TL Promotion presents Laugh and Live this Good Friday, 7 p.m. It's non-stop laughter at Bertrude Legacy Park, Lowlands. Special guest from Jamaica, Mr. Funny himself, Owen Blacker Ellis. From Trinidad, Rising Comics, Alan the Entertainer, and Son Son. And from Tobago, amateur comic, Bishop Terence Baines. Listen, this is a laughing matter. Get your tickets now at Den's Electronics, 2nd floor, Port Mall, Scarborough. An Island e-tickets or call 685-1988. At the door, you will pay more. It's gonna be a family affair. Laughter is good for the soul, whether you're young or you're old. So get your tickets now. You can't afford to miss it. Add some laughter to your Easter.
Welcome back. Every day we bring you closer to the issues that matter most. Is Tobago prepared for a catastrophic disruption in the food supply chain? That's the question at the center of a new study by the Tobago House of Assembly, as Tobago currently imports over 80% of its food from Trinidad. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine says a study launched last year is set to determine if Tobago can survive 3 months without a single vessel arrival. For our social media poll today, we asked, if cargo sailings to Tobago stopped tomorrow due to a disaster, how long could your household comfortably survive on the food currently in your home? 24% voted less than 3 days, 64% voted about 1 week, 11% voted 2 weeks to a month, 1% voted I grow my own, I'm good for 3 months. Remember, your vote counts too. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and join the conversation by voting in our daily polls. Now for a look at the weather update from the TNT Met Office. Tonight will be fair but hazy with a light breeze and the possibility of an isolated shower across Trinidad, Tobago and the remainder of the Lesser Antilles. Tomorrow will be generally sunny, hazy and breezy with brief partly cloudy intervals and a few isolated showers. A moderate concentration of Saharan dust remains present in the atmosphere, and sensitive persons are advised to take the necessary precautions. Tonight's minimum temperature is expected to be 23 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 24 degrees Celsius at Crown Point. Tomorrow's maximum temperatures is forecast to reach 31 degrees Celsius at Piarco and 30 degrees Celsius at Crown Point, with heat indices climbing to around 34 degrees Celsius in Piarco and 33 degrees Celsius in Crown Point. Seas will be moderate in Trinidad and Tobago and moderate to rough elsewhere, with waves between 2 and 2.5 meters in open waters, occasionally reaching up to 3 meters. Waves in sheltered areas will range between 1 to 1.5 meters and may become occasionally choppy. A hazardous seas alert yellow level remains in effect, and mariners are advised to exercise caution. Sunrise tomorrow is at 6:22 and sunset is at 6:15. And that's all the time we have for tonight's Tobago Updates news. Have a great night. But before we go, let's recap the headlines. Bring back the barge, says MP for Tobago East. Agri Society demands immediate relief amid sea bridge crisis. And vehicle defect grace period starts this coming Monday.